Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Cracking the Rich Code, the podcast. I'm your host, John Verico. And once again, I am absolutely delighted to be here because I get to talk to some really, really cool people from all over and in all types of career fields. And my guest today is, you're going to love her. She is a really, truly delightful and very, very intelligent HR consultant. She has written a chapter in Cracking the Rich Code, Volume 19, which we're going to talk about. So let me bring in Chandra Green. Chandra,
Hey,
there you
John.
are.
Hey,
How
good
are
morning.
you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't wait to speak to you. You know, we had some challenging times getting this scheduled, so I'm so glad that we finally got this together so that
Me
we could
too.
chat.
Yes, me too.
Now, Chandra, you are an HR consultant, and that's an interesting kind of a field. And I say that, I mean, I know a lot of people who are in the HR industry, but how do you wind up in something like that? Like, what gravitated you towards that? And then we'll talk about other stuff too. But just
Absolutely,
curious
absolutely.
about that.
So great question. Originally, I was working in, operations, call center, background in sales. I worked for a couple of insurance companies, Allstate, State Farm. I worked for Bell South in the customer service arena. And for me, I can just remember twice ever during that time actually reaching out to human resources. And so the two times that I did, they were not pleasant times. So what I
Oh,
decided to do is I said, these people don't really seem like, really kind people to interact with or engage with when you actually need help. So when I decided to go back to get a graduate degree, human resources came up. And it also came up because I'm a mediator by earlier profession, love mediation, love helping people solve their conflicts. Mediation is interesting because it does make you walk away with, my life isn't that bad, or yeah, I'm doing pretty good, right? Compared to others. And so when you're talking about helping people solve conflict or just working and listening, working in mediation, um, the, those skills are things that you use within human resources as well. So again, I was already in mediation, doing a lot of pro bono work and partnering with the different cities and counties that I worked in, along the lines of assisting with the court systems. And so when I decided to go back to school, that mediation conflict resolution piece and the HR piece, I think that they went hand in hand for me. And then one of the first jobs that I actually got right before I finished grad school was as a recruiter. And that was really helpful because a lot of times people will start working in the HR field in recruiting. Wonderful field, wonderful place to start. You definitely get to look at, source the requisitions or the positions, connect with leaders to find out exactly what they need, and then from there you're able to interact or interview people that are interested, so these candidates that are interested, so you're getting to know them. And if you're someone that likes meeting people, it's a wonderful job and wonderful role to be in. And then from there I started doing conflict resolutions or working as an employee relations manager, and then HR business partner, and for myself, phenomenal resources, HR business consultant.
wow, that is quite a path. But it's interesting how you kind of saw the problem from the customer perspective when you had to reach out to HR,
Oh, yeah.
and you said, "I'm going to pull all this skill set that I've been working on." And first of all, it was helped you to recognize that there was a problem there,
Right.
and that you wanted to create a new version of HR, of the typical
Yes,
HR office. You know,
absolutely.
and HR and employee relations are really they're actually very very close to my heart. I've been in employee communications, employee relations for a good portion of my career, as well as public
Mhm.
relations side of things. But that part of stuff, I always consider the internal audience as the forgotten audience. So many businesses are focused on their public facing image and all of that stuff, and they really forget that their people are their true asset, and
Resource.
their
That's right.
people are who actually represent them,
Hmm.
represent their brand. And if they're not taking care of their people, their people are going to take their customers away.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing too for me is that I think as an HR business partner or just, any HR partner, period, we should be focused on helping people advance in their careers,
Mhm.
understand what it is that they do and how to do it better so that it can actually help them to want to do more, want to actually feel valued. And I don't, a lot of times that's not seen. A lot of times when I am connecting with associates, employees, partners, vendors, we are just so busy with trying to get through the day. People are not feeling truly valued, no matter what mission the company is standing on. Um, the true resource are the employees, and a lot of
Mhm.
employees are not feeling like they really love their job or that someone cares enough to help them find that sweet spot for their roles.
Nice. And you try to help to bring that to the forefront for them,
Absolutely,
and
yes.
correct that stuff. I love it. I love it. So I know we jumped like right into that stuff, but let's let's get into a little bit more about kind of who Chandra Green is, and let's tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you go by the nickname Cece.
I do. I do. Yeah. So with my name being Chandra, John, you can imagine the variations I get. I get Chandra all the time because I guess that's how it looks. But it's since there are two A's, then that long A sound on Chandra is how it's pronounced.
Right.
My mother was a school teacher, but nonetheless,
I
when
could
I was
tell just in the way you said that. There was
yeah.
some of that coming
Oh yeah,
out.
serious. But when I was in junior high school, they call it middle school now. I
Hmm.
gave myself the nickname CC. It stuck. It was much easier, and it used to be. It's so funny how times things change. So when I was in junior high school, I gave it because people were messing up my name. Now I keep it a sacred, and I don't just voluntarily give people that name to call me. In my opinion, you have to be a really good friend, for me to allow you to call me Cece. But hey, I'd rather you call me Cece than Chandra any day, any day. So I don't know where they get Cassandra from. I have no idea, but I hear that. I hear Chandra, I hear Sandra a lot, and I get it because different, like the share sound with a C. People will say Chandra, but it's Chandra. It's a very hard CH, and then it has that U sound in there with that long A.
I
Yeah,
love it. I love
yeah.
it. So where does that come from, by the way? Was that a family name, or how did your mom come up with that?
Ooh, great question. So, my mother worked when she was in college at a daycare after school, and she knew a little girl named Chandra. And she said that the little girl would play with the rest of the kids. At the end of the day, when her parents came to get her, she was just as pristine as she was when they dropped her off. She always wore like nice little frilly dresses. Well, unfortunately, I was a diehard tomboy, so that wasn't my story. And I mean diehard. My father has two girls, and I'm the oldest, and I could do everything the guys could do. And it was like my dad was okay with it, so I just went in harder. But the name itself is not a family name, but I believe it's an East Indian name. And so I know it's a root name also. So you'll hear Chandra at the beginning of names in
Hmm.
the Indian in East India. But it also means moon. So, my understanding, and this is what a doctor told me many years ago when I was a kid, that if you are a female and that was your name or even a part of your name, with it meaning moon, it meant that you're the daughter of the moon. If you were a guy, you're the son of the moon. I mean, you're a son of the moon. So
Wow.
it works for me. I love the name. I definitely think it's unique. However, I almost started a Chandra club on LinkedIn because I know about 9 other Chandras, and I met
Really?
them all through LinkedIn. I mean, Chandra Brown, Chandra White, seriously, Chandra Black, several of them. Chandra Brown, no kidding. I'm
Now
not
wait a
making
minute.
this up.
Oh, are they
I'm
all,
not
do they
making
all
this
have color last names?
No, they don't. They don't all have color last names. But
Chandra Green,
yeah, yeah,
Chandra
hence
Green, Chandra White, Chandra Brown. Wait a minute.
exactly, exactly. So I personally, when I was in school, knew a Chandra White. She was a year older than I. And then many years later, just working in corporate America, there was a Chandra Brown that I met. And we joked with the same thing, like, wow, how unusual that is. So yeah, yeah, not a
That is
family name, but
amazing.
I hope maybe my grandchildren will name one of their kids Chandra. That would work for me. I'd love that. Let it carry on that way.
There you go. I love how your mother was inspired by a little girl who
Yeah.
was just, she was like the epitome of good behavior and stuff. And
Yes.
she was kind of
Yes.
hoping for this prissy little
Wishful thinking.
princess. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wishful thinking for
Instead
sure.
she got moon
She
goddess,
got
right?
moon goddess. I love it. That's right. That's right. I need to get a T-shirt. I think I'm gonna get a T-shirt, John, that says moon goddess. I like that a lot. Let me write that down. Let me write that down.
I love it. I
Oh,
love it. Chandra, you're an absolute delight to talk to, by the way, and I'm really
thanks.
enjoying our conversation. There's so much to ask about, and one of the things, let's kind of go back to, as you're progressing through your career, you now have become a John Maxwell certified speaker and coach, and I know
Mhm.
you're still working on that kind of a thing.
Yes.
And now you've become an international best-selling author
Mhm.
by being part of the Cracking the Rich Code series. Now,
Right.
you wrote in the volume 19, it
Yes.
was, and your chapter is called Reset Your Life. So let's talk just a little bit about what you had in mind with that chapter and what you want people to learn from it.
Would love to. So one of the things that I have done throughout my life, and it's a good and bad, it has its pros and cons, is I've kept a journal, right? So being much younger, having a diary, being able to go back and looking over, some of that, some things that have happened, whether they were challenging challenges or just, happy things, just kind of recalling it. And so the thing with that is that, when you go back, it's like you're looking at a past story.
Sure.
And one of
Yes.
the things that I realized is that if I had been very determined to move forward, because I have thrown, I have thrown several diaries away in the past because I said, "Oh my God, I don't ever want to go back to that. That was not good, or that was horrible, or my goodness, I'm glad I'm over that." So
When you were
when
looking
I
at your teenage angst, right?
Oh my goodness, that and some other things, unfortunately, even after that. But when I had the opportunity to connect with Jim Britt and we were having a conversation, I realized that, like most of us, I had several stories I could tell. I had several experiences that I could lean into. I had several different opportunities to share with others what worked for me. And so, what I decided to do was to combine some things from my past leading up to my future. And one thing that I wish I had done different, some people say they don't have regrets. I don't, whatever, good for them. But one of the things I wish that I had done different was just to put these actions for myself in place sooner, because again, it's my chapter is entitled Reset Your Life, because whether you're resetting your a part of resetting your life is resetting your mind, right?
Yes.
Part of
Yes.
resetting your life is moving forward. A part of resetting your life is doing something different. But the bottom line is doing. That's it right there. And so though I have been able to move forward in life after some obstacles, sometimes we stumble and we just stay in that place for a little longer than we need to. But once we make that decision to move forward, we can do whatever it is that we want to do. And one of the things that I love as looking back in diaries and me being able to put several different things together, because that is how I created my chapter, starting off with some information that maybe was not as pleasant, but it was placed there because I wanted to grab the reader's attention. I definitely feel like I was able to pull them in so that they would be interested enough to read through the rest to see that the victor at the end. So never a victim. I'm not a victim, but there's victory at the end. And I feel really good and really proud about that work.
I like that. Never a victim, but there's victory.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
believe
Well
that.
done. Well
Yep.
done.
Yeah.
Well done. Well, I do not have a copy of 19, so I'm going to have to.
You're going to have to get it. You're going to have to
Uh-huh.
get it. And you need to get it because my picture is right here for you. Chapter 19, right?
All right. So I'm going to get one from you. You're going to sign it for me.
I
I'll,
am. I'm going
and
to
I'll
do that.
sign one of mine for you. How's that?
Okay. I love that. I think that'll work out well. I love that.
All
Yes,
right.
sir. This
Definitely
is a
do
great
that.
opportunity. Hmm.
And that's actually one of the things I love about these conversations with the co-authors across the series. Every once in a while, I'll find one who's actually been in one of the volumes that I was in, or
Hmm.
happens to be in one of the volumes that I happen to have on my shelf, and it's like, oh, now I get to find out about this, the person
That's
behind the
right.
story, and
That's right.
so it's always a marvelous opportunity.
Hmm.
So now
Yes.
let's talk about this life reset thing.
Sure.
What are you, I know you're doing some coaching and things like that, so how are you helping people, or how do you help people with this reset?
Coming up with a plan, you might hear it called, action plan, revision plan, but just coming up with steps that they can take, small steps that are in small chunks within these steps that can help move them from
Perfect reminder.
where they currently
Yes.
are, that's right, to where they're wanting to go and grow. And I think that that's the focus there. So a lot of people may do that in their daily jobs. Personally, in the communities that I support and live in, I love connecting with students and helping them through tough times. A lot of times, students are overloaded with
Hmm.
getting through, being away from home for the first time, meeting the wrong friends, or not meeting the wrong friends, connecting with the wrong groups that are taking them into a different direction, and they're needing
Hmm.
to get back on path. And so what I love about life, nothing I'm saying is new, right? But what I love is just reminding people that we all get the same 24 hours every new day. So we all get that. That's a reset in itself. So whether or not you had a great day yesterday and today you're planning to continue that day, then keep on going, keep on moving forward to whatever that is. But to answer your question in short, it's a plan. And it's a plan that puts someone on a path to what their victory is, or what they want their victory to be, or look like. Yeah,
I love it, and I guess really a part of that too is helping them understand what that victory looks like for them.
that's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
So
Yeah.
many people have a skewed vision of where they think they want to go,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't
Mm-hmm.
have any idea to how to get there either. And so really, it's good that you're doing this with the kind of work that you're doing to help people to figure that path out. Go ahead.
Yeah, and what I love is that that's okay. They don't have to have a defined ending at all, because as you're saying, as you start to work your way through, something may change. A lot of us, I think you and I, maybe in our earlier chats, are saying that there are so many different things that we're interested in doing. And so the
Hmm.
direction can go many different ways. It's all about their personal fulfillment and what that looks like for them. No two people have the same vision for their individual lives. A lot of people that I notice, and I notice this a lot in corporate America, that are on these different tracks. Some are jumping on these bandwagons because others are on it.
Yes.
Versus looking at what their true potential is and where they want to really go and grow, where they want to end up, how they want to help, how they want to show up in the world. And in short, focusing on what makes them happy is where we should be, right? Is where we should be. I can't help you if I'm not happy in what I'm actually doing. And keeping in mind, because
Ooh,
we do get
wait,
these,
go back and repeat that one again.
I
Everybody take
can't
a
help
listen.
you. Yeah, I can't help you be happy in what you're doing if I'm not happy in what I'm doing. And a lot of people are smart enough to not put all of their eggs in one basket, meaning they have lives, right? We talk about work-life balance. They have lives outside of their day jobs. Whatever that means to them, and they're getting the fulfillment. I love it when people say, "Hey, I'm a softball coach. Hey, I help out with the girls volleyball team after work."
Hmm.
These are just different things that people do that keep our communities moving, keep the world going, and they're giving back, and it's actually helping for a better and stronger tomorrow.
I love it. And people, I think, find more fulfillment in
Yes,
those
they do.
kinds of things than they might in
Absolutely.
their traditional
Day
day job,
jobs.
whatever that might be.
Mhm.
There are so many folks who they have the day job to make money to support the things that they really want to do, and
Want
that's
to do. That's right.
right, right,
That's
and
right.
right. But you need to be happy in what you do, whatever it is. So there's no
Mhm.
reason also on the planet for us to be in a miserable day job.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I mean, I love this. I can't help you be happy if I'm not happy myself, and that is so
Mhm.
important. And I think that goes back to an earlier conversation we had even before we started recording today, but talking a little bit about the fact that
Mhm.
uh, in if your employees aren't happy, they're not going to represent your customer your brand well to your customers, and it
Right.
makes all the difference in the world. That's why keeping employees happy, satisfied, feeling like they're moving forward, all of that stuff. The most important thing of all of that is making sure that they feel like they matter and that they do make a difference,
That's right.
right? So if they
That's
feel
right.
appreciated, they're gonna stay. If they feel appreciated, they're gonna do a good job. They're gonna
Mhm.
represent you
Mhm.
well. And that goes back to
Yeah.
that whole thing about the HR stuff that you're in the first
Yeah.
place, and
And if you
how you can help
provide,
people.
oh, yep, John, sorry about that. If you provide the proper feedback and coaching with them, they realize that you're vested in their future and that you want them to be better. You want them to get better. But instead, what happens a lot is people will talk around them, everyone else haven't
Hmm.
provided the proper information. And we do have a lot of people or leaders that are not very strong, so they hide behind the fact that they don't know how to coach, they don't know how to have difficult conversations, or they just don't want to do it. But employees come to work to share, to be valued, to share their value, and to really they want to show up well. I mean, it takes a lot of effort into
Yeah.
coming in or going into your place
Nobody
of
wants to
employment
do
every
a
day.
bad job.
No one wants to do a bad job. I agree 100%. I really do. But when people don't feel valued, then the air may go out of their balloon, and they really are just not in a position to want to do more. They just don't want to do it, and they just don't show up well. And it shows in everything that they do and the things that they're not doing. Yeah.
Oh, big piece too about the things that they're not doing as well as what they're doing.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's
really
right.
important stuff. Hey, folks, we have been having a delightful chat with Chandra Green. Chandra is an HR consultant with a history as a mediator. She's a speaker and a coach, and you definitely want to connect with her. Check her out on LinkedIn, and I will put her LinkedIn connection in the show notes as well as it being on the screen here for those of you who are watching the video version of this. I can't believe we're almost out of time already. You see how quickly this thing goes.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, and Chandra has written her chapter is Reset Your Life, and that is in volume 19 of Cracking the Rich Code.
Mhm.
Chandra, as we're running out of time, let's just kind of wrap this up with some words of wisdom from the mind of Chandra Green.
That's so
What
funny. That's good.
what
I
would
like it. Mhm.
what would you want people to take away from this conversation or from your chapter?
Yeah. One of the things I have to constantly say to myself is where I am today does not define where I may be tomorrow. Because with your personal goals, right? I know where I'm trying to go or grow to, and everyone's path is different. I know many of people that never thought about being millionaires, and they are, and that was because of their particular focus. Their focus was really more into others and how they showed up versus being
Right.
self-centered, or having that overly self-gratifying piece of it's all about me. And so as we are interested in growing individually, it doesn't matter at what age, because we're growing every day, we're doing something different every day, we're learning every day. So putting all of those skills and all of your new ideas forward to help, again, not only yourself but others, I think that you will grow into wherever it is that you want to be. In my chapter of Reset Your Life, what I wanted to share is that I started my story off at a place that was really down and dark and heavy, and people can relate to it. So whether it's a divorce, it's a bad breakup, whether it's a job loss, whether it is losing a home, losing a loved one, these are all things that we need to step back and then move forward with a plan, just
Right.
resetting our lives. So my words of wisdom would be, again, no matter where you are today, tomorrow is another day, and you can be anywhere you want to be tomorrow. Only you can reset your life for yourself. Don't try to do it for someone else, but don't stay in the rut. Get a plan, make it happen, move forward, and take steps day by day to do something
I
better
love
and,
it.
and different. Mhm.
I love it. And you hinted at something earlier. It really, no matter where you are in life, what stage or what age, it doesn't really seem to make a difference because we're constantly reinventing ourselves, and
Constantly.
we're constantly growing into a new version of us, and
Right.
comparing yourself to other people is really it's counterproductive, right? The only
That's
person you
right.
need to compare yourself to is who you were yesterday.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And focus
Chandra
on
Green,
growing from there. Hmm.
Chandra Green, fantastic conversation. Everyone, please check out her chapter in Cracking the Rich Code, Volume 19. Her chapter is called Reset Your Life. And connect with Chandra on LinkedIn. It's probably the best way to get in touch with her. And she just goes by Chandra Green on LinkedIn, so you should be able to find her easily. But I will put her link in the show notes. Chandra, thank you so much for a wonderful conversation. It's been absolutely delightful and enlightening, and I look forward to us having further conversation going forward. And let's do a book swap.
Sounds good. Definitely. Thanks
All
a lot,
right.
John.
Take care, everyone. Thanks again for listening to the Cracking the Rich Code podcast. I'm your host, John Verico. Had an absolutely delightful conversation today with Chandra Green. Come and check us out. listen to this episode a couple of times because there's little golden nuggets sprinkled throughout, and then check out the next episode. Who knows who we'll have next? Take care, everyone. Have a great day.